Hey kids, my review today is of Landry Park by Bethany Hagen, which is, I think the best way to put it is futuristic historical fiction. That's actually not true. It's probably categorized as dystopian, but I'm going to call it futuristic historical fiction. This is the tale of Madeline Landry, who is the heir to the beautiful Landry Park. This is set about 200 years in the future in America, where China has become the Eastern Empire and taken over, I believe, the western half of the United States. They've also called for a ban on fossil fuels and put an end to climate change, thank goodness, and sort of saved the world a little bit. And America, that is not controlled by the Eastern Empire, is now ruled sort of by this idea of the gentry, which makes me think of the landed gentry, and they are a bunch of wealthy aristocratic folks who are surviving off of Madeline Landry's family. Her ancestor Jacob Landry invented the nuclear charge and these very powerful lanterns, which have saved the world from so many colossal mistakes with fossil fuels and effectively ended climate change along with the Eastern Empire. And she is living in the lap of luxury because of that, and the line of Landrys has gone on to produce heirs and save this beautiful, beautiful mansion-type place called Landry Park. So they are the top of the gentry all across the nation. However, a price comes with these nuclear charges, and they have to be changed because eventually they expire and continue to leak radiation, which is poisonous and can kill you. So the rootless, which is the put upon and oppressed underclass, or people without roots, are called upon to change and produce and build all the nuclear charges, and thus exposing themselves to so much radiation poisoning that they do not tend to live very long lives. And so there isn't really a feud, but they are very much oppressed by the gentry, and it's been getting worse and worse for centuries. Now, Madeline isn't exactly the rebellious heroine that we all think of. She is no Katniss Everdeen. She is really caught in between her life as a Landry and this legacy and history she's grown up with, and these really strong feelings about her family and her house and carrying on the Landry name, and also has this view of the rootless and sees that they're being oppressed and sees that her father is really at the forefront of that oppression and doesn't quite know how to help them without disobeying him, which is a very, very big challenge for her. Meanwhile, she's supposed to be coming out to society in her debut. Meanwhile, this boy named David Dana steps onto the scene, and he is elegant and wealthy, and her mother is very much trying to marry her off to him to produce another Landry heir to carry on so she can run the estate. However, the two of them sort of discover this mysterious secret. A world of extravagance hides a dangerous secret amongst their society, and the plot escalates from there. I found this to be incredibly fast-paced. It is a little more than 350 pages, and it was so fast-paced that it sort of made the story feel a little bit stunted. I didn't really like Madeline, didn't really dislike Madeline, I didn't really have any feelings toward her at all. She didn't seem, I understand the confusion that she was feeling, that was conveyed really well, but it took her a very long time to come to any conclusions about what she was going to do about that confusion, and if she was going to pick a side or if she wasn't going to pick a side. And I feel like the quickness of the book really led to that, and the dialogue that was used and written seemed that it opened too quickly to really be genuine. I didn't believe some of the dialogue. Just too many things were being revealed too quickly, and I couldn't buy it. That being said, I did enjoy the story, but like Madeline, I think the characters could have been fleshed out a little bit more. All of them, really. I mean, I got a sense of them all from Madeline's perspective, but they all could have had deeper stories, and it would have made the book a little bit longer, and I think that it would have added a little more detail and not made it feel so fast. Of course, with every good dystopian book, there's always a class that is oppressed, and that this book is obviously no different, but I found a lot of parallels to Nightcrawlers by Kelly McHugh that I reviewed recently, and how the oppressed class was treated, because it varies from dystopian book to dystopian book how you treat your oppressed class. And this and Nightcrawlers were very, very similar. There was a lot of senselessness to the oppression and a lot of covering up and trying to keep everybody believing the same history that they wanted them to believe from the ruling class called the uprisen. Also just the idea of the two levels, the uprisen and the rootless, roots being into the ground or in the past, up, down, above ground, below ground. I found that to be a parallel. And lastly, just to continue to touch on the fast-pacedness of this book and how it was done, there was a surprise at the end, which I did not expect. I didn't see it coming, but at the same time, I wasn't surprised by it. I sort of read it and I was like, oh, yeah, okay, and moved on. It wasn't shocking. It wasn't a big deal, and I felt like a surprise like that I really should have either A, been able to see coming maybe a little bit more, or could have been more surprising. Perhaps it was just the way that the characters were written and their personalities that made it seem a little more demure, but that's how I felt about it. Also, this cover has like this velvety sort of texture on it, and it gets fingerprinted really easily, and I hate fingerprinting my books, so that makes me uncomfortable. However, I do really like the cover design. I think it's very futuristic, but then it's got this giant inset of a very old historical looking house in it. So when I say futuristic historical fiction, I'm really not kidding. Overall, I gave 3 stars to Landry Park because I did enjoy the story, but I felt there were a lot of things going on that could have been very different. This book was sent to me by Penguin, and you should check out to see if any other booktubers have reviewed it as well. I hope you're having lovely weeks and lovely lives, and I will see you very soon in a new video.